if you're ready.
All right.
All right, here we go. Hello and welcome back to First Class Coach. This free training series is all about how you can build a six-figure coaching company you can run from anywhere in the world. I'm your host, Emily Utter, business coach for adventurous entrepreneurs, helping you create a business and life you love with the freedom to travel the world. I am so excited about today's guest, my friend Mel Cutler. Hey, Mel, how are you?
Hey. How are you, Emily? Thank you so much for having me.
I'm awesome, and I'm so excited to talk with you. Mel and I have done this before. He's been featured on some of my other free series, and we always have so much fun jamming out on business together. So you guys are in for a treat. But I know you don't all know Mel, so I want to share with you a little bit more about who he is, and then we're going to get into an awesome business conversation. So if right now you don't have something to take notes with, definitely go get it, because Mel is always dropping wisdom bombs on us. So Mel is a highly sought-after speaker, award-winning serial entrepreneur, and world traveler from the age of 19. He trains business owners and entrepreneurs with the essential tools and mindset in order to create the lifestyle and results they want. Having started 6 companies, with 2 of them creating 7-figure revenue streams, Mel has taken the lessons he's learned from his personal experiences and paired them with the wisdom he has gained from mentoring with extremely successful entrepreneurs to teach others how to create a business success mindset while simultaneously creating income by monetizing their passion. One of the things I love about Mel and why I was first drawn to invite him to be part of something that I was putting together was because he is totally living the lifestyle of the adventurous entrepreneur. So he travels several months a year with his wife, Kate, and I watched them on Facebook posting pictures from all over the world. Did you guys go to Italy in the past year? Somehow I'm thinking Italy.
We spent a month in Italy, yeah. It was amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, he's really living the dream lifestyle, making great money in his business, and he's so generous to be here with us today, teaching you guys for free. So thank you, Mel, so much for being here. I'm really excited about this.
Oh, my pleasure. I love what you do, Emily, and you're helping others just step up and be a better version of themselves and how to live an amazing lifestyle. We need more amazing ladies like you who are doing that. So I'm glad to support in any way.
Thank you so much, Mel. Well, today, y'all, we're going to be talking about the 5 steps to create the ultimate business. Mel, you have a really interesting story, so I'd love to start there. If you can just tell us a little bit more about you and how you got started and how you became such a business badass.
Yeah, totally. Well, I started off not being such a badass. It was actually whatever the opposite is of a badass. And I went through this school of hard knocks. My parents were Russian immigrants. Both of them came here, and they came to the land of opportunity, right? And they said, Mel, look, here in America, you could have whatever you want, but you're going to have to go out there and work and figure it out. And the plan that they gave me was the regular plan that most people get, and that's go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a good job, and live happily ever after. Well, I quickly realized that was not the plan for me, because I went to school, I got good grades, I got into college, and after about 1.5 years of college and working 3 jobs and having a full-time girlfriend, which was like a 4th job, I was seriously stressed out. And I looked at my life, and I was juggling too many things. And I said, this is just not going to work. And right at that time, it's just really interesting how we have these moments in life that hit us. And oftentimes these are defining moments. I mean, it could be literally watching this interview that defines the rest of your life in a completely different way, because you're going to get certain breakthroughs that just flip a switch in your mind. And that happened when I was in college, 19 years old. I realized that I was going to school, I didn't have a purpose, didn't have a vision, didn't have a dream, didn't know what I was doing, but I was doing it because my parents just said, well, this is the way. And I didn't want to disappoint them, right? Success was a very high value in our family. And if you weren't succeeding, then you weren't getting love. And everyone wants love. Well, the thing is that's not a sustainable system. And when I was 19, I ended up partying way too much in college. I ended up in the hospital. And this was one of my breakthrough moments. And I was sitting in the hospital bed thinking to myself, what the hell am I doing here? And I had a real serious case of pneumonia. And I remember the doctor comes in and he looks at me and says, Mel, I don't know what you're doing, but if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. And those words hit me. And I'm like, he's totally right. Like, something has to change. Something either outside has to come in and help me change, or something from inside has to come out and I have to become a different person. Either way. Otherwise, things are going to stay the same. And I had a moment where I said, enough is enough. And I was working 3 jobs at the time, and one of those jobs was a valet. And I was valeting real nice cars. This was actually in Long Beach on 2nd Street, which is like the downtown, kind of the nice area of Long Beach. And this gentleman would always come in, and he drove a car. The car he drove was as much as a house. He had what I call the trifecta. He had his financials were taken care of. He was a rich man. And he had an amazing relationship with his wife. So he had an amazing relationship from what I could see. And physically, he was fit. And as a bonus, he had time freedom because he would be gone 3-4 months out of the year, and he'd come back and he'd tell me all about his travels and all the cool places he's been. And I thought to myself, I want to be like that. Yeah. But at that point, I resented rich people. And I had like a negative energy towards money. And I had a lot of limiting beliefs that held me back that today, looking back on that, I don't know how I became successful, because the key was to let all of that go and to be open enough to step into the right direction. And that gentleman, I remember there was one night I was valeting and I said, tonight's the night, that's it. Enough is enough. It was shortly after I got out of the hospital. It's so interesting how humans are motivated by pain, right? Yeah. And when we feel that pain, when we actually put our money where our mouth is, or put our time, or really invest ourselves, that's when we get the most appreciation back. It's not for the things that come easy. And my parents never gave me anything that I wanted. They gave me what I needed. I love them. I have phenomenal parents. They put a roof over my head. They gave me food. But if there was something I wanted, a new shirt, they said, you can go make that. And I took full responsibility because I had no other choice. So this gentleman sets me up to start to understand how the world actually works, to create the lifestyle, to make as much money as you want. And he lays out a formula that I'm going to share on this call, because awesome. It totally changed my life. It's 5 simple steps. And from that, like that next day, we pulled up his car, he gave me his card because I asked for it, right? Oftentimes the world gives us exactly what we ask. Nothing more, nothing less. It's like what we ask for is what we get. And he gave me his card. We met up that next morning. And what he shared with me were these 5 steps that, I'm 33 years old now. I semi-retired when I was 25. I lived on an island for a year. Actually, that's where I met my lovely wife, Kate.
Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah, and I've since 25 on, there's 3 major things that I focused on that has crafted and designed and developed a lifestyle. Like, I've developed my lifestyle and the businesses to support that lifestyle. And it will continue forever. And now I get the privilege just to teach other amazing entrepreneurs who are ready to take action, who are committed, and want a whole new set of results for the remainder of their life.
Awesome. Okay, so are you going to share the 3 things with us, or the 5 things, or
yeah.
both?
What we got 3 or 5. Let's see where we go. Let's start with the 3 major things. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to break them down, because some of them fit within each other. Okay. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show the if you can see the whiteboard back there. Let's see if we can get a can you see those bubbles?
Yes, I can see them.
Okay.
Well, yes.
So let me break those down.
Okay.
So the power is in the formula, and the power is in the system. And the system everything starts with your mindset, right?
Yeah.
It starts with your mindset. So if you're taking notes, write this down. The acronym is SMART, right? It's SMART. You have to create a smart business, and that business is going to support you for the rest of your life. Instead of, it's really important to have a contrarian type of thought pattern, because if everyone else is doing what they're supposed to do and they're living inside of the box, you have to peek outside of the box to find the answers for yourself. Now, my businesses, what I do, may or may not be exactly the very thing that works for you. I don't know. I'm not saying, hey, believe every word I say, because what's worked for me has worked for me and my students and my friends that I've helped. But you won't know till you just try it out. So the first step is you have to lay out your strategy. You have to say, okay, look, I want to make X amount of money in X amount of time, and what are the vehicles that are going to get me there? So the strategy has to start with you thinking that, hey, exchanging dollars for hours is just not going to work. Like
right.
that goes against the strategy. So there's anything that gets a result is a certain strategy. And working 1 hour and getting paid 1 hour, no matter what you do, is not a good strategy. So you have to reverse that. And you have to think to yourself, what is it that you can make one time and sell forever? And preferably do it from wherever you want and do it online. A book that I picked up early on that totally changed my life was Tim Ferriss's book, The 4-Hour Workweek.
I knew you were going to say that. That's like the Bible.
That's the Bible.
Yeah.
And that starts to reprogram your brain, because it starts to lay out certain strategies that now they teach, right? But 10 years ago, they didn't teach it. And so that will start to lay out the strategy of what you want. Like, and if you can combine that with your mission and purpose and vision for yourself and the world, then all the better. Imagine making as much money as you want, helping as many people as you want, and living wherever you want and creating that time freedom. There's people already doing it. And that's why, Emily, what you're doing is so important, because you're that mentor. You're that coach that can guide people step by step and live that adventurous life, because life is just too short not to do that.
Yes.
Right? So the first key is strategy. The second key is your mindset, because a whole new version of you is going to have to emerge for you to actually get the results you want, because otherwise you'd already have them. Right? So there's a reason right now why you don't have the results. And you have to be open, you have to be flexible, you have to be willing, you got to let that ego go and say, okay, what are the limiting beliefs that are in my mindset? What are the negative emotions holding me back in my mindset? What are the thoughts that are running through my head? 50,000 thoughts every single day, 2,000 thoughts every single hour that are literally on repeat. It's like they're on repeat over and over and over and over. So there's tools and skills and techniques. As a matter of fact, I talk a lot about those tools and techniques specifically, step by step, in my new book, which I know we have a special gift we're going to give at the end, so hang in there. So mindset is so crucial. As a matter of fact, that is probably 90% of the whole thing. 10%.
We've been talking about that. Some of the other speakers and we've said the same exact thing, 80-90% it is.
Yeah.
And that's why we have a whole week on mindset in this training, because it's so important.
That's the key. Because once you get the mindset down, your mind evolves. It can never go back. Because your mind, to solve a whole new problem, has to be an evolution of what it currently is. And so that's why a coach, that's why a guide, that's why a mentor will get you there much faster than you can do it yourself, period. And you know what? It's going to cost money. And money is the cheapest thing it's going to cost. Because if you try to do it by yourself, you might, instead of it taking 5 years, it might take you 10. And that costs a lot more. Just if you paid the money, maybe you can even get it done in 2, just depending how serious you are, right? Because we're talking about a 180-degree shift, going from a job mentality to an entrepreneur mentality. And not only a solo entrepreneur where you just gave yourself a job, but being fully leveraged. And that's where the
Yeah.
next piece comes in the SMART acronym. Like, it's about as creative as I could get is to come up with, the SMART acronym.
I like it.
A is action. So like right now you're learning certain things. You learned, well, I need some sort of specific strategy. Well, start thinking what that is. What's your exit plan? If you're currently in a job, how do you get out of there? Right? You don't have to throw in the towel and say, hey, I quit, I'm out of here. Well, what if you could create something that started subsidizing that income? And then before you know it, you can do that. And so strategies also are strategies like thinking of how you can travel, setting a budget and putting something on autopilot that automatically makes enough money to fulfill that budget.
Yep.
And for a lot of people, if it's not everybody's goal to become a multimillionaire, right? I decided, hey, that's my goal because I wanted to know like who I would have to become to hit that. But if you want to travel and make just enough money and go hang out, and great, right? Great. You probably don't need as much as you think to really travel all around the world and live a great life. All you really need is the strategy. Then you need the mindset. Then you have to take action. So A is action. And there's certain strategies to take action. But this is the thing, is that in the beginning you have to understand that you are going to fail. Mm-hmm. And failure is the best thing you could ever do because it's all about falling forward. As long as you're moving, you can always get up and readjust. The most successful entrepreneurs that I've ever met are okay with failing. I cannot tell you the main reason that I think I'm even here, being interviewed is because I was able to fail as fast as humanly possible over and over and over again. And then guess what? If you fail enough, a couple of the things that you actually get right are going to do well. And then you kind of adjust the course and you go towards that over and over and over again. So that understanding and reframing failure in your mind is going to be absolutely crucial. And that adventure, that's what creates adventure. That's what creates excitement. That's what creates fun. Is it's actually failing, but looking at it in a positive way almost, right? It's like
people are like, this dude's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at failure as fun and adventure, that's a stretch for a lot of people.
Totally. And
I
that's
get where
a stretch.
you're coming from, though.
Totally. That's the stretch that you have to adopt. Yeah. Successful people, they don't look at problems, they have challenges. Right? They don't look at failures, they just look at, hey, this is how not to do something, and gives them the opportunity to figure out how to do something.
Yeah, I love what you just said there because there is truly a distinction between the way that successful people think and people who are actually growing successful companies and people who don't. They're thinking differently. They might be complainers, victim-y, stop when something doesn't work instead of keep going and figuring out how to make it a learning opportunity. I really see those differences. And that's what I think is so fun about this series too, is that I hope that those of you watching are starting to see, because if you watch this whole series, you are going to pick up on themes of, wow, 5 people or 10 people even said the same thing. They must be right.
Totally.
There's something to it.
And that's the thing, is that you got to get out of your own head. You got to get out of your own way and follow the proper patterns. That's it. Humans only run so many patterns. We're not really that complicated. We run so many patterns and we get so many results. And so the successful people, they're not smarter. They're not, they're just people who have been able to adjust and be flexible more so than the average person. That's it. Because and no one's situation is unique. That's a big one. Like whatever situation you're in, you're married with kids, you're just getting by, just paying the credit cards, you have a mortgage, whatever it might be, like there are 99% of people that are in that situation. And you know what? There's people who've gotten out of it. They said, let's figure out how, let's not live like the average person. Let's because we're all going to die, right? And I think being connected to that very fact is very motivational. Like if you knew, hey, look, we have 30 years left, 40 years left, and they're going to fly by like the last years flew by. They're for sure. So what we do in between is what counts. And it's not about the money we make, but it's what we do with that money. It's about the legacy we live and the legacy we leave. And that takes us to R. And R in the SMART acronym is you want to develop something that is replicatable. Because once you find a system, once you have the right mindset, once you take action, you can scale that very thing. So it's not about making, let's say it's going to take $3,000, $5,000 for a month for you to live the life you want and go travel and do everything you want, right? Well, the key is yes, that might be the outcome, that might be like the end goal, but why not start with $100 a month? Passive income that just comes to you. Why not start with 500? Why not grow that? Because if you can make 100, can you make 500? I think so.
Not?
If you make 500, can you make 1,000? Yeah. If you make 1,000, can you increase it to 2? And then before you know it, it gets to 5, it gets to 10, it gets to 30. So that replicatable process needs you have to have an eye on it and make it scalable, and don't focus too much on like, hey, I want to be a millionaire. Well, to be a millionaire, what does that even mean? You have to break that down. You have to say, okay, well, that's around $80,000 a month. Well, how are you going to do $80,000 a month? Could you have 8 companies each bringing in however much they need to bring in every month, right? So it's breaking it down and then creating replicatable systems to support that.
I like that.
Yeah. And the final piece, this is the final piece, which brings it all together, is that you cannot create, I don't believe that you can create the lifestyle you want by yourself.
I agree.
I believe no matter what, your lifestyle, what you want is going to come from somebody else. And what that means is that you have to be a team builder.
Yep.
Whether it's your VAs in India and your designers in Philippines and they're managing things for you, or actual, people in your office, or having a virtual team. Well, that's how I get to take 3 months out of the year and go travel. And this year we took 4 months out of the year. And next month we're about to go to Michigan with Kate's family for November, December, and January. And guess what? If I just wanted to sit in the chair and hang out, I could. Now, obviously, once an entrepreneur, always an entrepreneur, I'm always looking for things to do. But if I didn't want to do anything, the systems would run. And that is having the outcome first. Like, what is the don't just start up a business to start up a business. Start up a business and know how you're going to exit out. That's important. I'll give you an example. So these days, I look for companies to buy. Like, I will buy 1 to 2 companies a year that are already making money. That means they're already they're already doing $1 million to $5 million gross revenue a year. And I will find a company that resonates with what I believe in. It's going to help the world, and I'll go in there and I'll buy the company. Well, guess what? This companies, they're doing good because they're already $1 million companies, but they're not doing great. They're not, their sales systems aren't great, their marketing isn't great, and their team isn't great. So a company that I bought last year was, actually, I have a bottle right here. It's called Vocalese.
Oh, I probably need that.
Yeah.
Is that for speaking?
It is. So
yeah, I need that.
This is the #1 artist-endorsed vocal throat spray in the world. A bunch of famous people use it, and it's in over 500 stores. Now, this is the thing. I bought this company. I didn't get it into 500 stores. Like, right. that would be a lot of effort. I bought the company, and now we're revamping it to take it from what it's doing to 10 times that.
Yeah.
But I can now go sit on an island, and every time these, my favorite thing is just getting every time like my phone buzzes, it's like PayPal sending me money, money in my bank account.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that there's things, and right now, just so you know, Emily, right now is the absolute best time to look for companies to buy. Because
maybe I should buy a company.
You totally should, because baby boomers are retiring, and they have these companies their kids don't want to take them over, and you can literally acquire a company for none of your money.
Okay, tell us how that works, because I've never even considered this.
I know, I never considered it. And you can tell how excited I am, but I have a mentor. Like, I didn't come up with this. And my mentor does multiple 7-figure deals every single year. Like, starting up a company and growing it and getting to where that's work. It's going to take work, and it's fulfilling, and it's great. And at the same time, why not acquire a company that's already in revenue and then grow it? And then, like, in 3 to 5 years, I'll sell this company.
Yeah.
I'll exit out and sell it. And I'll sell it to, a supplement company that has already a whole lineup of supplements, and that's it. And then I'll go on to the next thing. And in the meantime, since we're already in 500 stores, and this kind of just gives you like a little sneak peek of how I think, how I've been trained to think. Because everyone is just trained to think a certain way. And you can untrain yourself, and then you can retrain yourself. So we're already in 500 stores. So I went and I did some research. What's in Guitar Center, Sam Ash, and a bunch of different music stores. What they didn't have is an all-natural instrument cleaner. So what did I do? I made one right here, instrument clean. And this is the thing, is I found already the leading cleaner, and I called them and I said, look, I want to white label your product. Make me. X amount of bottles. I'm going to put my own label on it, and I'm going to name it Instrument Clean. And now I've niched it down and made it specific for the music industry. This polishes and cleans from brass, woodwinds, pianos. I mean, you name it, it works phenomenal. I didn't have to invent the product. This product, it's all organic. It's all natural. I mean, I couldn't formulate it. I'm not a formulator, so that's why I just bought it. And so now those are the type of products that are going to sell automatically. I just put up a few things online, I pay for advertisement, tweak a few things, make sure they're running, and it sells automatically.
I have a question for you.
Yep.
So I wasn't sure if you were making a connection between those two products, but what I was wondering is, are they selling the throat spray in the instrument stores because there's performers, and therefore you have an in with all of those stores you have existing contracts with through the throat spray? Okay. I just want to make sure that I was making the right connection, and that if anyone didn't make that same connection, that I made it.
Exactly. I am all about the path of least resistance.
Right, yeah.
I did not come up with this because I thought of the idea. I went to the stores and I said, look, if we created this, would you be interested? And a large majority of our customers for Vocalese said yes. So I said, okay, let's do it.
Yeah, cool.
Now, this is the thing, is that creating physical products takes money. Not a lot, but it takes money. A great place to start, and this is where I started, is creating info products. Mm-hmm. Info products are not physical products. It's selling what's in your head and putting it into a way where people get phenomenal value. Now, successful people are very assumptive, and they believe that what's in they're kind of like, they just believe in themselves. That's something that somebody wants to know what's in their head, and they're willing to pay, because think about it. You want to market to people who want what you have and who can afford what you have.
Right.
So I'll give you an example of an info product that literally sells every day, all day, that I've created. One of the ways that we have a signature event called the Entrepreneur Revolution, where you get to hang out with me and other phenomenal entrepreneur trainers for 2 days. Well, that event is primarily filled through I'm giving a secret here. Our number one marketing strategy is through meetup.com.
Yeah.
So we fill live events through Meetup. We've been really successful at that. And other people have said, Mel, well, how have you done it? And I'm happy to share. I mean, look, if I can help impact the world and change one person's life, that means way more to me than holding on to my own secrets and feeding my own ego and coming from a place of scarcity. I truly believe that, in karma, like if you're going to give something, it's going to immediately come back to you. What I did is I created a program all about Meetup. It's called meetupmaster.com. And I recorded videos. I put together a 50-plus page manual. I have blueprints and PDFs and a bunch of like really cool bonuses. And then I called the program meetupmaster.com. And guess what? Every day people find, like I posted videos on YouTube from years ago. If you want to see me with short hair, you can, years ago, like probably over 5 years ago. And somebody literally watched that video on YouTube. They went to the website, bought the course. Somebody I didn't even know. The other day we had somebody buy the course from Romania, from Thailand, from Australia. And so it's all about, like the first step, products are great, and I would highly recommend monetizing what's in your head. Because if you're watching this right now, you're a smart person. And guess what? If you don't think that there's anything in your head, which I know there's something, how simple would it be to just go out there, figure out what your target market wants, and then go make it, learn it, and then make it, and then sell it back to them? That's the millionaire formula. That in my opinion, is the ultimate lifestyle formula. And I honestly believe anyone who's willing, and anyone who's willing to take the resources and grab a coach if you want to do it sooner than later. Emily, I know you're phenomenal. You travel all around, and this is what you do. And the key is to find the best students, right? Because your time is limited. And when you find the best students that actually do what you say, that's the most rewarding thing ever.
Totally. Yeah.
Right?
I love it. I always tell my clients I love bragging about them, so when they actually do the work and get the results, it's the best feeling as a coach. I mean, that's why we do what we do, right? That's
totally true. Totally true. And so that's it. That's the key. And is it going to take time? Yes. Is there going to be a learning curve? You better believe it. Are you going to fail? Yes, you are. Yeah. It's just in the program. It's like you're taking the contrarian road. Like if there's a fork in the road and you already went down one path and you saw. It takes somebody really like with a ton of fortitude and determination to turn around, come back. And when I mean by come back, I had to move into my parents' house twice. Back. Wow. Because I lost everything twice. Everything. I mean, literally, like, and that's when I found out who I truly was. When I lost everything, I mean, I was in debt $50,000. All my friends left because I had to fire them all. And it was in one of my companies. And that's when I truly learned what I was all about, and that literally I could do anything and make money. And if I could ever get back out of that, not being able to, living with my parents, and if I could rise back up from that, that's when I promised I would help other entrepreneurs. And that's why I wrote my book, because the whole book lays out in detail how to do what we're talking about step by step, starting from the mindset and laying that proper foundation.
Awesome. Yeah. I love it. I love how much, you're definitely opening up my thinking, but I'm sure you're opening up the audience's thinking too. And my guess is that everyone is like, oh my God, I need to learn more from this guy. I can't believe that our time is up in this conversation already.
It goes fast.
Oh, it goes by so fast. But I know you have a kick-ass offer for us, which is the book you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So I'd love to have you tell us a little bit more about what's in it and, what people will get out of it. And then obviously we'll give you guys the URL to get it. It's also on this page, so don't freak out. Go ahead, Mel.
Totally. So it's a special gift. And this is my way of saying thank you, Emily, to you.
Thank you.
And yeah, and for you to share this with your community, because I know it'll totally help them. I basically put the last 11 years of my life into this book. Write this domain down. Write the URL down. It's bigboombook.com. bigboombook.com. When you go to that page, a video is going to start playing, and it's going to explain everything that's in this book. This book literally is going to teach you how to ignite your life, how to blow up your barriers, and get explosive results in the entrepreneur revolution that's going on right now. And the revolution is happening from the inside out. When you change your thoughts, when you change your strategy about life, when you change your sphere of influence, and you actually have the right replicatable system and the right team, you're going to be unstoppable. And that's what I share in this 200+ page book. I'm going to give this to you, Emily, and your community absolutely free. They only have to cover shipping. So when you go to the page, you will see it's going to be free. $7.95 covers shipping and handling. I will ship this to you anywhere in the world. It's going to be a limited time. I only have a certain amount that I'm doing that for. So get your copy. Get your copy. And by the way, the 2-day event that I was talking about, the Entrepreneur Revolution, this is basically a summary of what happens in the 2-day. So when I was talking about the specific processes and tools and skills to reprogram your brain, I included that in this book. So I take you step by step. And this book is not like any other book. If you can see this, like I laid out, it's almost like a workbook. So there's things for you to do, and there's actions for you to take that immediately will create the results you want. Whether it's more freedom, whether it's more money, whether it's a better life for you and your family, whether it's traveling all around the world. If I've done it, right? Mary Kate Olsen wrote a really amazing quote in Cosmo. Now, of course, it wasn't my Cosmo. It was Kate's Cosmo. And I was reading it one day.
I know, I'm like, okay, wait a second. Mel's talking about Mary Kate and Cosmo. What's that?
Mary Kate Olsen, which, by the way, they're phenomenal entrepreneurs. What she wrote in Cosmo was a powerful quote I'll take forever. She said she only takes advice from people that she would be willing to change places with.
Oh, that's so good.
That's it. So why are we taking advice from our broke-ass friends? Why are we taking relationship advice from our 5 times divorced friends? Doesn't make any sense, right? So when you decide to learn from somebody who has what you want, everything will change for you if you're willing. And this book is your next step. So go to bigboombook.com, see if there's any books left, put in your info, grab the book, and I promise you, your life will change.
Oh my gosh, Mel, it is always such a pleasure to talk with you. I really, really appreciate you taking the time, and you've shared a lot today. And I'm wondering if there's any, last wisdom that you want to share with this audience before we say goodbye.
Totally. The last thing that I'll leave the audience with is the universe, at the end of the day, rewards one thing and one thing only, and that's massive action. That's it. Your life is a sum total of the actions or inactions you've taken thus far. That's it. At the end of the day, it's really simple. So if you want a whole new level of result, if you want to take your life from, a level 2 to a level 10, which everyone deserves that, everyone deserves it, but not everyone will have it because of lack of massive action. So I just want to leave everybody with that. Massive, massive action completely will transform your life. And one of those actions, if you feel it's the right one, is go get the Big Boom book and just enjoy it.
Yes, thank you. So again, you guys, that's bigboombook.com. Obviously, Mel's brilliant. You should get your hands on it. He's always one of my favorite people to speak to in any of the series that I do. So Mel, thanks again. I can't wait to just, keep in touch with you and hopefully see you in SoCal later this year.
Yeah, me too, Emily. Oh,
Yay.
Thank you so much, and thank you for giving me the outlet to share, my purpose and passion, and I love it. So keep on rocking. You're doing some amazing things.
Thanks, Mel.
All right.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Take
Cheers.
care.
Thanks, Mel.